What do you
I think
see
it's
rematch?
dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
We did how many rounds? We probably did 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8 too.
Yeah.
Very good. You're not in bad shape. Yeah.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach are officially set for a rematch on August 18th. This time, Davis, known as Tank, has made it clear he's not leaving anything to chance. The tension is high, and the stakes go far beyond titles or pride. What's really turning heads in the boxing world is Davis's demeanor since their first clash on March 1st, which ended in a shocking majority draw. That outcome dented the aura of invincibility surrounding Tank, and now he's on a mission to reclaim his dominance.
Was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. But even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like, it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say, it's great.
What was supposed to be another routine demolition, just another name added to Davis's growing list, took a very different turn. Lamont Roach refused to play the part of the victim. He matched Tank's intensity, absorbed his power, and revealed cracks in Davis's game that had been masked by a string of dominant knockouts. And this isn't just speculation. Richardson Hitchens, a close friend and longtime training partner of Davis, offered a candid look into Tank's mindset heading into the rematch. I tell Tank behind closed doors, if he doesn't lock in, things could go left for him, Hitchens said in a recent interview. But Tank's a real competitor. He's scared to lose, and I think that night really woke him up. It was like, man, this could really slip away at any moment.
It could go left for him.
I mean, yeah, I'll tell Tank that, behind closed doors. If he don't focus up, it can go left for him. But Tank is a true competitor. Tank is a guy that he's scared to lose. So I think
That's a rare admission from someone within Davis's inner circle. A clear sign that the confidence Tank projects publicly might not fully reflect what's happening behind the scenes. Hitchens also noted that Davis has been dialing back the distractions, staying off social media, and putting in serious work at the gym. That's exactly the kind of shift you expect from a fighter who knows he came dangerously close to a major setback. Now, he's training like a man with something to prove. Because for the first time in a long while, there are real questions about whether Tank is still untouchable.
Now, he's trying to please the fans possibly and take this fight versus Lamont Roach in a rematch. Is it even worth it to please the fans who are going to love you one minute, hate you the next? They're going to love him this minute, they're going to hate him the next minute. Oh, I don't like it. He can fight Lamont Roach, and they're going to say, well, he's supposed to knock Lamont out if he does win. Or if he loses to Lamont, they're going to say, oh, we knew Lamont was better. It's just always is a never-ending story in regards to boxing. You can't just please the people.
But is that enough? Hitchens himself seems to have his doubts. I think honestly those guys are both evenly matched. They have history with each other. They know each other, he said. So I don't think that there's going to be that much of a difference in the rematch. But with Tank's power, anything can happen. That's a shaky endorsement, and it raises a critical question. Has Tank reached a point where his power alone isn't enough to cover up the flaws in his game?
That was saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
If that weren't enough to shake Davis's focus, Eddie Hearn's recent remarks might. The Matchroom boxing chief stirred controversy by suggesting Davis could be looking for a way out of the Roach rematch altogether. In a recent interview, Hearn claimed that Davis might be pivoting toward a high-profile showdown with social media star Jake Paul instead. He's fighting Jake Paul, isn't he? Hearn said. That's the talk. Forget Roach. Tank's looking at a massive payday, an easy win, and viral headlines. If there's truth to that, it raises serious questions about Tank's priorities. Swapping a legacy-defining rematch for a spectacle-driven money grab would not only undermine the competitive spirit fans expect, but it would also confirm what insiders like Richardson Hitchens have hinted at. Davis may still be searching for stability and focus after the wake-up call Roach delivered in their first fight.
Me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
How real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
I'm not sure if Davis will even go through with the Roach rematch at this point. What I do know is there's serious talk about him fighting Jake Paul in November, and possibly Shakur Stevenson after that. For a fighter like Davis, this kind of narrative is risky. Chasing a big payday is one thing, but entertaining a spectacle like a Jake Paul fight sends the wrong message. It hints at a lack of focus, a drift from the pure high-level competition that once defined his career. And for Roach, that's fuel. It gives him every reason to believe that Davis is distracted, vulnerable, and more beatable than ever in a potential rematch.
The hardest punch I ever faced, no. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard hit.
Roach, meanwhile, has stayed mostly silent, letting the noise and uncertainty swirl around. Davis. It's a smart, calculated move that speaks to a fighter who understands the mental game just as well as the physical. He's already shown he can go toe-to-toe with Tank, absorb his best shots, and keep pressing forward. That kind of resilience can wear down even the most confident opponent, and if Davis is already second-guessing himself, Roach is perfectly positioned to take full advantage.
In that fight, a lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's going to be the same fighter throughout his career. So
even Ryan Garcia, a former Tank opponent, has weighed in, cautiously backing Davis to win the rematch. I got Tank, Garcia told Ez. I think he'll put on a different gear. I think he just thought it would be easier than it was, and thought Roach would fold, and he didn't. Now we should expect a harder fight, and I think he wins the rematch. It's a vote of confidence, but a lukewarm one at best. Garcia essentially admitted that Davis underestimated Roach the first time around, a costly miscalculation that nearly shattered his perfect record. And considering Garcia is coming off a brutal knockout loss to Rolando Rolly Romero, another Davis victim, his endorsement lacks the weight it might have once carried. Romero, for his part, was also asked about the rematch and threw his support behind Davis. I'd take Tank because I think Tank will make the necessary adjustments, he said in a recent interview. It's telling that both Garcia and Romero, fighters who felt Tank's power firsthand, still believe in his ability to rebound. But their cautious tone speaks volumes. Even Tank's former opponents are sensing vulnerability, and that subtle shift in perception could be just the psychological edge Roach needs heading into August 18th.